Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast, your destination for learning English in a fun, natural way and improving all aspects of your life. I'm Peter.
And I'm Sophia. We're thrilled you're joining us today.
Whether you've just discovered us or you've been tuning in for a while, today's episode is something special. We're diving into a topic that can truly transform your results, no matter if you're learning English, working on your fitness, or pursuing any major goal.
Exactly. Let me ask you, Peter, what do you think is the single most important factor for achieving success?
I'd say it comes down to self-discipline. It's what keeps us moving forward when excitement fades and obstacles appear.
I couldn't agree more. Lately, I've noticed my own self-discipline slipping. I've fallen behind on certain habits, and I've been feeling a bit frustrated.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. We all set ambitious goals, then struggle to stick with them. What's been tripping you up, Sophia?
For example, I've committed to exercising regularly, but the days I plan to hit the gym often overlap with my binge-watching sessions. I keep telling myself, I'll start tomorrow, and before I know it, the habit never really sticks.
Ah, that classic "I'll start tomorrow" trap. We've all fallen into it. That's why today we're talking about building self-discipline, so you can stay on track even when motivation runs low.
Exactly. In this episode, we'll explore why self-discipline is so vital, how to develop it, and how to stay consistent when things get challenging.
And, as always, we've prepared a helpful PDF guide full of key takeaways, comprehension questions, and grammar exercises. It'll reinforce today's lessons and strengthen both your self-discipline and English skills. Grab it via the link in the description.
Plus, keep an ear out for some intermediate-level words and phrases sprinkled throughout our chat. Later on, we'll break them down so you can use them confidently in conversation.
All right, Sophia, shall we get started?
Let's do it. Our very first strategy is begin with tiny habits.
Let's face it, whenever we set massive targets, we often end up burning out. I remember last New Year's, I decided I'd work out an hour every day, eat perfectly, and study English for 2 hours each evening. By mid-January, I was utterly exhausted and had given up.
I can relate. Setting those huge resolutions sounds great, but they can quickly feel overwhelming. The trick is to start so small that it's almost impossible to refuse.
Exactly. If you want to build self-discipline, start with a habit so tiny you can't say no. For instance, instead of aiming for an hour of exercise, commit to just 5 minutes. That makes it feel manageable. And over time, those 5 minutes naturally become 10, 20, and so on.
And the same applies to learning English. Rather than forcing yourself to study grammar for an hour, set a goal of learning 1 new word a day or listening to an English podcast for 5 minutes. Those small steps add up and you'll feel less pressure.
Right. Consistency is far more powerful than intensity. Those tiny habits build momentum, making larger routines feel easy later on.
So, remember, make your starting point as small as possible. 5 minutes of anything you want to improve will get you moving in the right direction.
Our second tip, focus on systems, not just goals. Goals are great, like, I want to learn 500 new English words this year, or I want to lose 20 pounds. But without a system, goals often fail.
Right. A system is a set of daily actions that naturally lead to your goal. For English, that could mean practicing vocabulary for 10 minutes every morning or reading 1 article each lunch break. Once you have that routine, you don't have to rely on fleeting motivation. You just follow the system.
It's like creating a path that guides you automatically to your destination. Instead of fixating on the end result, pay attention to the process, your daily steps. For weight loss, a system might be, I eat 2 servings of vegetables at dinner and walk for 20 minutes after lunch.
Exactly. When your system is clear, you don't get discouraged by slow progress. You just keep following your daily actions, and over time, the results appear.
Tip 3. Make your habits attractive. If you can find ways to make what you do enjoyable, it becomes far easier to stick with it.
Absolutely. When I first started working out, I dreaded going to the gym. Then I discovered that listening to my favorite upbeat playlist made it fun. I also promised myself a small reward, a smoothie, after each session. Suddenly, exercise felt less like a chore and more like a treat.
That's a great example. The same approach works for English practice. Maybe you pair your listening exercise with a latte from your go-to coffee shop. Or you choose a TV show that's genuinely entertaining, rather than forcing yourself to watch a dull lesson. If you look forward to the activity, you'll keep doing it.
Exactly. By attaching a reward, like a short YouTube break or a piece of dark chocolate, to your study session, you train your brain to associate learning with pleasure.
Tip 4. Design your environment for success. Your surroundings can either help you stay disciplined or set you up to fail.
I learned that the hard way. My old workspace was cluttered with snacks and my phone was always in sight. As soon as I tried to study English, I'd get distracted. Now I keep my desk clear, put my phone out of reach, and have all my study materials neatly laid out. That simple change has helped me focus.
Exactly. If you want to exercise in the morning, lay out your workout clothes and keep your running shoes right by the bed. The fewer barriers to action, the less friction there is when you're ready to follow through.
And for English learners, having your textbooks, notebooks, or flashcards visible on your desk means you can't ignore them. If everything you need is within arm's reach, you'll be far more likely to pick it up.
Tip 5. Manage your willpower and energy wisely. Willpower is a finite resource. It gets depleted the more you use it.
I can definitely vouch for that. By the end of the workday, I've used up most of my mental energy, and convincing myself to go to the gym at 7 p.m. feels nearly impossible. Now I exercise first thing in the morning when I have the most energy.
That's smart. Identify your peak energy times. Maybe it's early morning, midday, or late afternoon. And tackle your hardest tasks then. For English practice, if you're most alert in the morning, use that time to do your focused listening or speaking exercises. Save easier tasks like reviewing flashcards or casually reading for later when your energy dips.
Exactly. Automating decisions also helps save willpower. If you decide tonight that tomorrow morning you'll do 5 minutes of reading, you remove the need to make that choice when you wake up. Simply follow the plan.
Tip 6. Build in accountability. Having someone know your goals and check in on you can make a huge difference.
Definitely. When I first started working on my French, I signed up for a language exchange partner who expected me to show up every Tuesday. Knowing that someone else was counting on me kept me disciplined.
For fitness, working out with a friend or joining a group class means you're less likely to bail because you don't want to let your buddy down. Similarly, if you find a study partner or join an online English group, you'll be more consistent because you have others cheering you on.
Exactly. Accountability transforms discipline from a solo effort into a shared one, making it more enjoyable and harder to skip.
All right, we've touched on some powerful strategies: tiny habits, focusing on systems, making habits attractive, designing your environment, managing willpower, and building accountability. Let's review some of today's key vocabulary before we wrap up.
Great idea. I'll go first. Tiny habits, habits so small that you can't refuse them, like 5 minutes of practice. System, a collection of daily actions or routines that lead to a goal. Make habits attractive, pairing a habit with something enjoyable so you look forward to doing it. Design your environment, arranging your surroundings to remove friction and encourage the habits you want. Willpower, the mental energy used to resist temptation. It can run out if you overuse it. Accountability, having someone else check on your progress, which increases your commitment.
Nicely done. I'll add a couple more. Momentum, the force built by consistent action. Once you start making tiny improvements, you gain momentum over time. Automate decisions, removing unnecessary choices by planning ahead, so you don't have to expend willpower at the moment. Energy peaks, times of day when you feel most alert and focused, ideal for tackling your hardest tasks.
Excellent. Incorporate these terms into your daily conversations or writing to reinforce them.
That wraps up today's episode on self-discipline and staying consistent. Remember, start with tiny habits, build systems instead of fixating solely on goals, make your routines enjoyable, shape your environment, manage your energy, and lean on accountability.
And to help you practice, don't forget to download our free PDF guide, complete with exercises and questions to reinforce everything we talked about. The link is in the description below.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Everyday English, share it with friends, and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us keep delivering content tailored to your needs.
Most importantly, put these strategies into action right away. Pick one tiny habit to start today, set up a system, and watch as small steps lead to big results.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time on the Everyday English Podcast. Until then, stay disciplined and keep learning.
Bye for now, take care, and good luck on your journey.